Islam Tribe. It's your boy Noble, me and a couple of brothers. We finna go over this divine warning. But first, I wanna show, we in Chicago, Republic. And I wanna show something that pretty much sums up what we are asking people who are new to this information to do. So I'm on my, wait, hold up. Let me full screen. I'm finna show, if you watch the NBA, you know about Michael Jordan, the shot, right? So, let me turn him up. So you see Mike hit the shot. We all know about it. This is what we asking you to do. Now, say you don't know nothing about this information, but you heard about it. So to us, you like somebody that's watching the game. You like one of the spectators. You one of the fans. And this is like, I'm trying to give you a metaphor to see like how hard you gotta go with this information. You can't just get it and play around with it, because it's not like, you see the shot clock at 3 when he get the ball. This how you getting the information with the shot clock. The bomb finna blow up. You know what I'm saying? So how bad is you finna study to disengage it? So this is how we coming. This is just a little metaphor though. So we don't even need that no more. Let me get that up out of here. Now, where's divine warning? Now this is divine warning, prepared by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. We know he passed in what, 29?
Yeah, 29.
It's 2019, so it's at least, because I don't know the exact number of years, it's at least 90, right? So the warning was 90 years ago, right? Just keep that in mind. So a divine warning by the Prophet for the nations. The citizens of all free national governments, according to their national constitution, are all of one family bearing one free national name. Moorish American for us. Those who fail to recognize the free national name of their constitutional government are classed as undesirables and are subject to all inferior names and abuses and mistreatments that the citizens care to bestow upon them. And it is a sin for any group of people to violate. It is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of a free national government and cling to the names and the principles that allude to slavery. So, like that first paragraph is like everything in a nutshell. So depending on where you at in this movement, you're gonna get different stuff about it. But it's basically saying that it's a sin for any group of people to basically be clinging to slave names and principles. And if that ain't our people, like I don't know, and I ain't trying to offend nobody, that's what we do. We know where these names come from. We know, well, some of us know who study Constitution, that we supposed to have certain unalienable rights. But it's a lien on them. You're supposed to have the right to travel, the right to locomotion. We got case law on this, stare decisis, all this. But we got to get a driver's license. We forced into commerce. So.
But here's the thing, if I can interject.
Yes, yes.
So I'm Ezil Amaria L. And the part that really kind of needs to be, when Prophet did this was all during his time frame. So the main thing that we have to kind of take a look at is when he says citizens, because there are a lot of people who are confused about U.S. citizen versus American citizen. It's two totally different types of citizens. So when you just sit here and just say citizen, we have to make sure that we make a distinction between the two right now for these times and days, because you have all these people that are purporting themselves to be, you know, Christians and all of that with the Christian codes and stuff. And so it's a lot of stuff that people don't understand with that, but that's just because it's a little bit of trickery in the language. So if we're saying U.S. citizen, then you are saying that you're a citizen of the United States corporate construct. If you say you're an American citizen, then that means you're an American citizen by definition, which would be the copper-colored people that Columbus purported to find on these shores. So that's kind of where we are at a scope with this part of the warning, because everybody kind of has to understand which part of it they actually fit in. And so whatever you claim to be is what you get.
Facts. And
So-
another thing you got to keep in mind. The brother, when like all this part and parcel, we talking about the republic. We not talking about no democracy. You know what I'm saying? It's a democracy now. If they was doing everything they was supposed to be doing, everything would be cool. If they was being good trustees like they were supposed to be, because the people obviously is asleep, so they can't handle the estate right now. But they running wild. So let's get back. Let me see. One more thing I wanted to get to about that first paragraph is, why is it a sin? Why do it say that it's a sin? So, and this, what I'm finna show is why from my study, you know, I'm not saying this, you know, I mean, it is what it is. You can determine for yourself. So, the books our people mainly deal with is what? The Bible.
Oh yeah. No, here's the deal. When you say, let's just be real, they don't really deal with the Bible the way you think that they deal with the Bible.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired.
Now, okay, because at the end of the day, some people, man knows not by being told. And
hey, they know when you
have been told all through across this Bible, and they ain't open it because they say, well, I'm going to go Sunday. Tell me what it said.
Hey, you know what be crazy though? When they see you doing something, then they know it like, they know they know the exact chapter, verse.
Yeah.
But yeah, you right. But I ain't wanna. I'm trying to, man. We trying to get to everybody.
I know
man.
we are getting to everybody. I just want to make sure that we really putting it all out on the table right here. Like, I don't want a white elephant walking through the room that ain't nobody talking about, and he just sitting over here sipping lemonade.
Hey, they know. We ain't gotta tell them. They know. They hiding up. They watching hiding. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So why is it a sin? That's with this computer. It say, and it is a sin for any group of people to violate the national constitutional laws of a free national government. That's one. And then cling to the names and principles that delude to slavery. Because one of them got to do with, if you violating the Constitution, that means you violating rights. That's all about rights. So the same way you got your rights coming, somebody else got their rights coming. It's like that golden rule type of thing. Mm-hmm. So the other side, clinging to names, that's the other side of the thing. Instead of violating rights, now you violating yourself. Now you want to be a slave. Now, I was getting to the books our people, you know what I'm saying, have.
All right. I just wanted to make sure we had all the dough stops out the way. I didn't want to, because some people use it for a dough stop.
The books that are in our people's possession. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go from here's the Holy Quran of Mecca, the Maulana Muhammad version. That's the translation. That's the one I'll be reading. Surah 2 ayat 30. And when our Lord said to the angels, I am going to place a ruler in the earth. And I ain't really even got to go no further, because if he's saying he gonna place a ruler in the earth, why is we trying to be the slave of our grandkids? Like, it don't even, like, the math ain't never gonna add up. But let me read the rest. And when our Lord said to the angels, I'm going to place a ruler in the earth, they said, without place in it such as make mischief and shed blood, and we celebrate thy praise and extol thy holiness. He says, surely I know what you know not. So for Sunni Muslims or anybody who read that Holy Quran in Mecca, there you have it. You ain't supposed to, like, ain't no reason for you to still be clinging to that, you know what I'm saying, anything that's deluding to slavery. King James Version, Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image and our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth. Same type of thing, Khalifa. So that's the King James Version of the Bible. And we gonna go to Circle 7, Holy Quran, first chapter. I should have had this lined up as well, but you can just go through it. What's the part I want to read? The thoughts of Allah cannot be circumscribed. No finite mind can comprehend things infinite. Then you go down here and it tell you man is a thought of Allah. Bam. So it's telling you, you know, you can't be contained. Why is you trying to be somebody's slave? That's the three books, the three main books I'm gonna say our people deal with. Would you say?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's get back to this though. I, the prophet, was prepared by the great God Allah to warn my people to repent from their sinful ways and go back to their state of mind of their forefathers' divine and national principles, that they will be law-abiders and receive their divine right as citizens, according to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. Now, you got some people, I'm going to stop right there for a minute. You got some Moors I done heard use the argument, see, the nativity ain't about your mother, it's about your state of mind. You know what I'm saying? They done told me that before, and I can see this where they probably got it. But it say the state of mind of your forefather. So if your mom's was Albion, then hey, it's still the state, you know.
Well, when they making that reference, right? It's basically to walk the footsteps like they walk, get back into your culture, do what you know you're supposed to do. That also carry your free national appellation. So that was the reason why they said, you know, if you already know that you royalty, then why won't you just go on ahead and admit to who your bloodline pedigree is,
right? And
then go on ahead and sign yourself
right
to the what you feel, the ill or the bay, and then move forward. And now you're handling the affairs of men. Okay, and so when we talk about the affairs of men, it's not like we're saying the affairs of just men, because when we look at womb man, right, that's the womb of man. You still man, so it's not like there's no separation, there's no division. It's just basically an appeal to the bloodline.
Facts. So just to side note on that, they are to claim their own free national name and religion. There's but one issue for them to be recognized by this government and of the earth, and it comes only through the connection of the Moorish divine and national movement, which is incorporated in this government. We talking about a republic. When every time y'all hear that, don't get thrown off. And recognized by all other nations of the world. Now, for somebody, because I can feel it, somebody gonna be like, but the Act 1871, you gotta remember, back then, it wasn't Google, none of that. So these secret, you know what I'm saying, acts that was being held, you think like he was doing all this knowing he was with.
See, but
that's what they try to get ties with on the.
At the end of the day, as we get further into this, when you look at it, it's just saying the Moorish national and divine movement of the world. So that establishes the fact that that movement, so when you get like, when we talk about the Moors Order of the Round Table, when we talk about also like the Great Seal, things of that nature, when we talk about those individuals who are custodians of the knowledge, and then they also send that and transmit that to the temple, the science of, the Moorish Science Temple of America. So you would think that everybody would be in line, right? But why would the prophet say that people were jealous of him? If you look at it at that scope, it makes you really understand that the Moorish national and divine movement of the world is not bound by just the Moorish Science Temple of America. That just now makes that part of it, but not the whole thing, and not the leader, because he brought forth the Moorish. What does it say? It says Moorish national and divine movement of the world.
And once we get down to the end of this, we gonna see who really with the movement. We gonna see from what he say he need and what he calling for, and who doing it.
Who fits the bill?
So the proof in the pudding. They are to claim their own free national name religion as but one issue to be recognized by this government of the earth. It comes only through the connection of the Moorish divine national movement, which is incorporated in this government and recognized by all other nations of the world. And through it, they and their church can receive their divine rights unmolested by the citizens, that they can cast a free national ballot at the polls under the free national constitution of the state's government and not under a granted privilege as has been the existing condition for many generations. So, what I wanted to talk about on this, I had notes: divine right, state of mind of the forefathers, law abiders. Basically, divine right. I wanted to say, where is it at? I can't find it readily right now. I just read over it. But that's what we were just talking about. As far as Allah making man Caliph. That's our destiny. We ordained to do that. Read first chapter of Circle 7 Quran. That's what we ordained to do. Be the chief of all this. So that name, we already know where that name come from. You know what I'm saying? We already know why it's capitalized. That's called Capitis Diminutio Maxima. Capitis Diminutio Maxima. Complete comprehensive loss of status. And it's a little bit more to go to that. You who doubt whether I the prophet and my principles are right for the redemption of my people, go to those who know law in the city hall and among the officials in your government, and ask them under an intelligent tone, and they will be glad to render you a favorable reply, for they are glad to see me bring you out of darkness into light. Money doesn't make the man, it is free national standards and power that makes a man and a nation. The wealth of all national governments, gold and silver and commerce belong to the citizens alone, and without your national citizenship by name and principles, you have no true wealth, and I am hereby calling on all true citizens that stand for a national free government and the enforcement of the Constitution to help me in my great missionary work, because I need all support from all true American citizens of the United States of America. Help me to save my people who have fallen from the constitutional laws of government. I am depending on your support to get them back to the constitutional fold again, that they will learn to love instead of hate and will live according to love, true peace, freedom, and justice, supporting our free national constitution of the United States of America. Now, don't get confused when he keeps bringing up this free national constitution, because if you look at Article 3, you're going to see that it's a diverse. It's an article. It's a constitution of diversity, which means it ain't just for U.S. citizens. You know what I'm saying? They just the slaves of it. No offense. So Article 3, Section, what is that? Article 3, Section 2. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under this Constitution, the laws of the United States, and treaties made or which shall be made under their authority, to all cases affecting ambassadors of the public ministers and consuls, to all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, to controversies to which the United States should be a party, to controversies between two or more states. See, this is what I'm trying to get to. Between a state and citizens of another state, between citizens of different. See, it's different types of citizens. It's diversity. Between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state claiming lands under grants of different states, between the state and the citizens thereof, and foreign states like us.
Right. And so the whole deal about it is that so many people talk about the Constitution, but they're not really even emphasizing the part of the treaty. And so the treaty is very important because the treaty and the Constitution, they go together. So, you know, when you kind of take that into scope, it gives you a little bit of a better tool or lens to see the document for what it's saying.
Islam. So basically what I wanted to show with that is that it's a diverse, it's for different, you know what I'm saying? Because I know people just think of the United States and they thinking of Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. They not thinking of different states as far as Moorish American Consulate, you know, Maricopa side, whatever other, you know, type of private states we got over here on our side. They're not thinking like that. That's why you get Article 3 courts for diversity. That's what it's talking about. What else? Okay, let's go back to the warning. I love my people and I desire their unity and mind back to their own national and divine standard, because day by day they have been violating the national and constitutional laws of their government by claiming names and principles that are unconstitutional. If Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, it is no more than right that the law should be enforced upon all other American citizens alike. You see how he just talked about the diversity, all the different nations? Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turkish, Arabian Americans. We Moorish Americans. So it's different states, nation, you know, different nationalities.
Right.
In all other governments, when a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent name, and if he fails to give it, he is misused, in prison, or exile. Any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principle, because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name, because they place their trust upon issuing names formed by their forefathers.
And so that right there just tells you the whole deal and points to the reason why we take the Appalachian portion so seriously. Because now you're going back into the way of the fold of the natural people who are heirs to the land. And so you're heirs to the land by the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. And you use the Constitution for the United States, for the United States.
Exactly.
You just, it's out there, it's very simple, but you have to make sure you're looking at things appropriately through a correct lens when you're seeing it. And so everything again is tied into language. That's the reason why you got to have your Black's Law Dictionary. That's the reason why you got to have an etymological dictionary. You got to have all of this stuff so that way you can understand what's being presented to you.
And you got to think, read, study. You got to like want to know it. Like, why do you think we're party to this Constitution? Like, because we not over here on this land. It ain't just all Moors over here. We can't just be under the, you know, Moorish law. We got all these different nations. So when you come into conflict, it has to be something that, you know, a law between nations. And that's what that is. That's why we always talk about enforce the Constitution. Because by not enforcing the Constitution, you basically are what's called, you under assumption. You are already property. You Dred Scott, because we wasn't meant, we could never be citizens. As far as being
you could not be citizens of the United States.
Of the United States.
Because you are American citizen by birthright.
Exactly.
That's the whole reason why he's trying to tell you that, because that's the whole American citizen thing, because you're Americans, because we're the copper colored people that they found on these shores.
Right. So it's not a middle ground with it. Some people trying to be safe. They want to keep the name, you know, thinking they can hide. No, you just being a piece of energy that's in the like a piece of food in the refrigerator waiting for them to come pluck you.
Oh no, they eating on you.
Right. They already nibbling.
Shit, they eating on you already, sir.
Oh, okay.
This ain't no shit that they talk about Thursday.
Yeah, they definitely eating on you. Yeah, my bad.
You more like sliced cheese
Right,
in the
I forget.
refrigerator and
I'm
somebody
tripping.
just roll in and let me nibble on this.
We all getting ate up, so don't get mad. We all getting it. We just we conscious now, so we trying to help y'all so we can, you know what I'm saying, make a decision. We can do like Kanye saying, make a decision, because it's definitely a choice.
But the line's been drawn in the sand. You know what I mean? Like, it's a line drawn in the sand. It's the same, like history repeating itself. Are you a free, or are you a slave? Are you a free, what is a free Moor? Are you a slave? Would that happen before in history? I can't remember the exact words right now. I don't know why I'm lost on it right now. But it was like, yeah, you have to announce yourself as a free man, and that would be by being a Moor, or you're going to be considered to be a slave. So that was the whole point of the reason why the Sultan had to put these things in place for us to be able to come in, because he knew that a lot of us had been in entrapment or been tripped up in some other stuff, and that was the vehicle that was used to bring everybody back into the fold.
Oh yeah, you was what's that, the expatriation or something, where they say they automatically assume you're more if you don't.
Yeah, you either a free national.
You got to prove you're not a Moor.
You have to prove, well, there's a deal. Yeah, well, you have to prove that you're not a Moor.
Right.
That's because everybody in the whole world knows that you're a Moor, but you.
Right.
Okay. So at this point, basically, the reason why the line has to be drawn in the sand is because we really need you to say that you are. Do you know what I mean? We need you to announce your pedigree, because nobody can make assumptions lawfully for you. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. I can't go up and assume what you are. You have to tell me what you are.
So.
I know. I can look at you, tell we the same thing. We talk the same everything, but it's unfortunately you got to say who you are, and ain't nothing we can do about that. If you don't say who you are, then you're leaving yourself to be subject to whatever the hell they decide that they want to make you up to be. So you basically are running around, and you just told these people you're a stallion, and they go, "Nah, you're a pony." No, but I'm a stallion. No, you're a pony. You see what I'm saying? It's you're not, some stuff you just don't want to do.
Now it might be somebody out there. Now where am I at on this one? I'm almost done. It might be somebody out there saying, now how is you just gonna say I'm a Moor? I'm black. You know what I'm saying? This is that and other. So look, okay, we know that, you can get words, from some cultures that mean burnt face people and all. We understand that. We talking about the legalese that is being used against us. We in a war of commerce right now. Mm-hmm. So, and they're using this legalese as a weapon. So the reason why you hear Moors saying I ain't black is because we making our language weaponized to fight against the weapon that we face with.
So here's the trick. So English is an equivocal language. So that means that you can, vowels are interchangeable, you can leave them off, whatever. So all these things could end up, no matter what you do with a word, when it comes to etymology, that initial use of that word is what that word is going to be from here into perpetuity.
Right.
Okay? Because you can't change that.
That's the root.
But what they've done is, through your education and other things that they put on TV, this, that, and the third, that actually give you that slick, smooth talking, connotative linguistics or whatever, the jargon that everybody thinks, oh yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, when we're talking about black, right, I'm not even concerned about the color part, okay? But if you've been living as long as, I know I was born in 75, so I've seen us go from, Negro, black, you know what I mean? I've seen it go to African American, all this other stuff, but who decided that, okay? At the end of the day, if you got all these people deciding to branch off from something else, why did they do that? It's no point. If I can say, you can go anywhere and see documented that the same people that they call black, that consider themselves to be black, their names were changed to previously be African American, right? Then it went to, of course, all the way in there you had the nigger part, but then you had colored, right? You had blackamoor was where it started, because it was more, blackamoor. All right, you get back up.
Okay, let me get back to this divine warrant. So I, the prophet, am hereby calling aloud with a divine plea to all true American citizens to help me remove this great sin which has been committed and is being practiced by my people throughout my people in the United States of America. because they know it is not the true and divine way, and without understanding they have fallen from the true light into utter darkness of sin. And there is not a nation on earth today that will recognize them socially, religiously, politically, or economically. And y'all can, like, my people watching this, y'all can just look at around at our reality. That's the whole thing right there in a nutshell. It said there is not a nation on earth today that will recognize them socially, religiously, politically, or economically. You know how you gonna get noticed? You gotta be a LeBron James in whatever field. You gotta be the best of the best, and then you can be the token. You know what I'm saying? We just gonna sit you here right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Soon as you act like you wanna act up,
Yep.
Bill Cosby,
Boop.
we'll OJ you. We'll come back for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that just stood out to me. In their present condition of their endeavorment, in which they themselves try to force upon a civilized world, they will not refrain from their sinful ways of action, and their deeds have brought Jim Crowism, segregation, and everything that brings harm to human beings on earth. And they fault the Southerner for all these great misuses. But I have traveled in the South and have examined conditions there, and it is the worst of my people, continuously practicing the things which bring dishonor, disgrace, and disrespect to any nation that lives the life. And I am hereby calling on all true American citizens for moral support and finance to help me in my great missionary work to bring my people out of darkness into marvelous light. And that's a divine warning. Now, people might heard that and might feel a way about it, because he's saying this, all this is about us creating sin. That's why you have people like Kanye saying slavery is a choice. And everybody went and thought he was talking about, you know what I'm saying, Harriet Tubman, slavery. They don't know that we in slavery right now. Like, this was real live slavery.
Oh yeah, and everybody's in it.
Yeah, like the only reason they don't know is because they so sleep that they don't know their rights. So they don't know their rights getting violated all the time.
No, it's the thing is that they done heard. It's like a thing. You done heard something so much, so many times that it's just ingrained in you, like they make a record. And so you don't even take the time to kind of break off the track and try to figure out some things on your own. So like everybody got to take a bird's eye view of what's going on, and you'll see that clearly you're in slavery. You got to get up out your bed, right? Process whatever you got to process before you leave out of there with your children or whatever, and then send them off to training, right? And so all this whole time, they going to training to learn how to be accepted amongst
How to be
society.
Compete to be the best.
But we're not
slave.
even talking about what society they going into, right? We just said society, period. But then when you look at you now, you got to go then to the Job, and you doing all of this stuff or whatever, and they using all your energy for you to get some pieces of paper that you can feel like you can do, and everybody on the mad dash to see who's gonna get the most. Now all this time while you fighting this mad dash to get the most, they burn up all your energy. You get home, I guess you feel like you don't have time to read the energy of the shit that would give you the keys to let you get on out of here and move on about your business. Because if we all stood up in unity together and we know who we are, then everything that we're talking about is much easier task for us to do. But instead, we want to sit up and, well, let me just wait and see what's going to happen with this one right here. And I'm going to chill in the background. Like, that's not going to mean you're not in dishonor. Right. Because if you see your brother and sister that's in adversity, you're supposed to help them. Instead, you're going to sit up and watch TV, let somebody tell you a narrative, and you just start agreeing with it because you don't even know this person, but, oh, yeah, oh, they look like, they look suspicious. Right. You see them, look at that hair. I know he did it. Come on now.
You done failed for the
okie doke.
Right.
It's like you really supposed to know, and everybody knows when they said propaganda, and we all know what propaganda is. Then when they tell you propaganda is legal in the United States, that should tell you something. Do you see what I'm saying? That means that anybody can literally just go around and just say whatever the hell it is they want to if they're the government. But then who's to say government we're talking about? See. It's two seals on the back of a bill.
They had a comfortable matrix. So it's been, I give some people some credit. Like, it's been, like, if you ain't been in a life-altering situation or some type of situation where you get to really see a side of the system, to where, because most of these people, they got that, you know, my American, my rights. They thinking like that, right?
Yeah, but the thing is rights, even though we talking about rights, you want to see them in writing, don't you? Okay, because because when you go to court, they gonna want to back up whatever you said with in writing, in some law book, somewhere, some law case, somewhere. It's got to be documented, because they're not gonna go for word of mouth. Yeah. So how you think you're gonna stand on something talking about I know you know, which is you are so right. You are right. You know. I know you know. Even if you wanted to think you didn't know or whatever, it's something in there where you have been told it's flashed by you because the shit's out here in the open. Okay. But for you to sit here and decide that, you know, I'm just gonna ride with whatever, I don't have to do this. It doesn't matter to me because it don't affect me. But then you see your brothers and sisters getting killed. You see your brothers and sisters getting accosted by the police. You see all of these other things that happen, and you sit and acquiesce because you're comfortable.
I don't know, like, well, the only way they can be comfortable is maybe they know something that we don't know.
It's the private commercial paper game. I got the best lazy boy. Of course, I'm comfortable. What you talking about? Look at my car that I got. I know I'm clean. I don't have to worry about. Look at the house where I'm renting. Okay, you paying a $35,000 millionaire in your mind. All of these things are things that you allow to pacify yourself when you might even be having a fight in your own. There's somebody on here might watch this. Just got a fight in their own.
I'm saying they must don't know about the warning, and they must don't know about the cannons about when it's gonna be $20 bills in the street and ain't nobody gonna bend over to pick them up.
Yeah, but see, here's the trick. Just because the stuff is out there, it's your responsibility to find out for yourself and put it on the scales. That's the only way you can see. That goes back to man knows not by being told. You got to go through and you got to take a stand and take a look at the stuff, because at the end of the day, you're affected. And when you decide you don't want to do it, that's when somebody else makes the option for you. So let's just quash all that bullshit right now, right? And let's just say, okay, look, fuck it, from this day on, I'm going to be responsible for myself, because you're responsible for yourself regardless of how you feel.
Right, you should have been said that.
Right, so you take a look and see what it says, because ain't nobody going to sit up and waste their time, because I don't see Moors riding around, you know, with Rolls Royces and making videos and shit, shooting J shots. Well, every time I see a damn Moor, they look like they trying to use all their energy and expel all their energy to try to get you to overstand it. We just trying to stand up as a nation together under the same umbrella that our forefathers and foremothers, all of that created for us. Okay, for us, in that umbrella, right? All the different tribes, all the whatever you are, all of that, we knew those were your tribes. Nobody is discounting that or you. But at the end of the day, the only way we're going to be able to kick this thing is if we all come together, right, and unify as one, period. And then now we're telling you who we are, okay? It's not up to debate. And we got all of the stuff in writing to prove who we are. That's all we're saying.
And it's the reason why we started out saying that this thing is at least 90 years old, because it was a warning all the way back then. So what you think happening now? Why you think they doing repos of at least $75 billion a day?
Look, if this thing was a warning in 1929, clearly it was happening then. There's no question about it. What else would he be warning you about, right? So that means that it's still in operation today, and your proof of that is that the systems that the prophet put in place that were in operation, you can't find them now. So this don't have nothing to do with what we should not be doing, but I just see this warning, and it tells me clearly I need to be concerned about the Moorish national and divine movement of the world. That's just what it says. It's like a reset document to me, you know. I'm just being honest, because I haven't. When you look at the work that people do, and you look at what the juxtaposition to what the work the prophet wanted and did, and then when you see how, you know, we who are all supposed to be coming in united or making little busy smoke screens or whatever to stop somebody. Or no, I'm gonna discredit you a little bit. Okay, so it ain't about power. It's just about the truth. That's all it is. So you are who you are. This is your pedigree. If it just read it, take a look at it, let it marinate. But nobody ever said that you were changing you. We just said that you were proclaiming you. You were just telling people who you were. Nobody told me to tell you who you are, because I can't do that. You can't do that.
I mean, it is what it is. It's like, you either gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. But that's the divine warning. Either you gonna claim your own free national name and religion, or you gonna be undesirable. So it's like, you know what I'm saying?
That's that line in the sand.
Right.
You know, and there's nothing you can do about that. And, you know, we ain't gonna never be mad at you. We ain't gonna never.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be mad at you.
It's your bloodline. We talking about blood, not schisms. I don't give a shit.
See, Prophet said, I gave you enough to save a nation, so save yourself. So, you know, all this like extra credit to me. Now, whether you take it and go on with it, that'll be even more extra credit. That's but if not, it's like, okay, like what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you know that if you don't understand the stuff, then you definitely need to look into it, because at the end of the day, you're affected by it, whether you participate or not.
And let me show y'all something real quick, because I was just telling y'all. See, it's a reason why that our religion is so entrenched with law. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason. Both of them got to do with truth, right? Ultimately.
But they would never separate. They just made the people think they were
truth
separate.
Is one. Let me see. I want to show these people, because they think we playing. Like when we talking about in our canons, it say have at least 3 months worth of food and water and supplies and all this. Because we know that dollar gonna crash. Because we want to go back to real, we want to be constitutional. Article 1, Section 10, gold and silver coin. That paper fiat ain't backed by nothing. It could be a fiat currency as long as it's backed by gold and silver. Peep this.
Federal Reserve reporting that it will conduct overnight repo operations through at least 2020. The Fed also saying that it will purchase T-bills into the second quarter of next year. Now, we know that Fed officials had discussed at their September meeting the need for a plan to address the volatility in these overnight funding markets. Chairman Powell had said that a plan would be coming soon. Now we have it. The Fed overnight repo operations will be conducted at least through 2020. Again, T-bills will be purchased through the second quarter of next year. The Fed also...
I ain't mean to do that. But what she basically talking, I don't really need the rest of that video. What she basically talking about, all the rest of the nation stop buying the T-bond. That's what Taj be talking about.
Right.
They basically boxing they ass in with their own fiat currency.
But see, the thing is they are the ones buying their own T-bonds, but that should already let you know there's a problem, right? But then the thing is for those who want to consider themselves black, you're the T-bonds. Exactly. Let's put that on out there. And so they're liquidating their assets. So that means, like, if you got this big old plantation and you got all these slaves, and so now you bankrupt or whatever, and you got to go on ahead and disperse these slaves because you're out of business, then that means that they're going to liquidate you as an asset, as if you were a piece of gold or a piece of silver or a piece of whatever. You're liquidated. You have absorbed all of the debt. So you can't, you have to kind of understand what these people are trying to tell you.
And they get all type of executive orders that they can take all your bank account and all your transportation, take over your house, take over all food, everything. They got all these executive orders for you, United States citizens. But I mean, in reality, it's slavery. You know, in reality, it is what it is. I ain't just gonna put the blacks down. Legalese, that's that. But in reality, these people, they are who they are. So that's that video. I just wanted to show that they doing the repos. The repos is the World Bank
taking up people's homes that they mortgaged with a dead pledge.
They give the banks is broke. right? They out of money. They in debt. They trying to do another. They want to do another share. Everybody won't let them, right?
Yeah, the reason why they're getting all this money being dumped into them is because they ran out of money. So like, let's just say you went to work. You know how you get a little short and you had to get you a payday loan.
Right.
Okay, so the bank got a payday loan.
Every
and
day.
As a matter of fact, they payday loan is so short they got to pay it back very quickly.
Every day.
It's not no like what you had talking about next payday. No, as far as they're concerned, the next payday was the next day of business because that's the next time that you're gonna accept some Federal Reserve.
Do you understand how broke that mean? If you miss one day, it's over with.
At any time. Actually, here's the deal: you're gonna suffer if somebody accidentally make a mistake and hit the key wrong and the transaction don't go through that day and you miss a day. Y'all
gonna be popped if you miss a day.
And
somebody gonna go. I seen stuff on Facebook. They talking about they gonna call the police if you try to take out more than 5,000 because they ain't got the money.
No, that's because you thought that it was your bank account. When
right.
No.
Right.
The whole point of them taking, even when you look at the history of fucking bank accounts, Wells Fargo and them were robbing motherfuckers, and that was the reason why they was like, oh, if you don't want to get robbed, let us hold your money. So they was either getting your money by hook or by crook. Whether you said, oh yeah, I feel safer because of the fear that you done trumped me because I think I'm gonna get robbed because y'all been G-riding on people on the wagons and whatnot. And so basically that's their money. They hedge and invest all that money because they always want you to deposit and save it and give you a little bit of the savings. When these bad boys out here making straight up gambling transactions like it's a fucking casino.
They hypothecate.
Yeah.
Up to
doing
9
all
times.
they want out your money. So then on top of that, they don't want you to, they're thinking that everybody's broke. They know they broke. So if you finna, before it was $10,000, right? So now they probably trying to say fine because they like, no, we so broke. If you can flip 10,000 right now, we can look at you.
On the real.
Yeah, we know you got some notes. What the hell you buying?
They don't want no large amounts
in a
leave.
recession. Right, but what are you doing spending money like that in a recession? We need to come get some of yours.
Man, I got a couple more videos because I'm trying to, I know this might be hard for some people, but I'm trying to give people an understanding of what's really going on so you can know that this thing just something you need to be thinking is some religious, like this something really urgent that's going on right now. All you gotta do is go look at all the Fox News, MSNBC News economy. Go look about what's happened with the world economy. Cause what you think gonna happen if the economy, if the economy in your house slow down, what's gonna happen? If you can't pay the bills in that house and you can't put no food in that fridge, what's gonna happen? It's over with. So if the world economy finna slow down, and you wonder why we quoting cannons, talking about how this much supplies and food say one day you gonna bite into your arm and be mad because you ain't have enough food saved up.
But my whole thing is this is like maybe you don't understand the gravity. When they say they run out, that mean they run out. That mean everything come to a halt. Them trucks that bring the food to the grocery store,
everything
is gone. Okay.
Even people with food, how you gonna take the garbage out? You gonna be in there filthy because you ain't gonna want nobody to know you got food.
Right. And the sad part about it, you had so much education and training that you don't even know how to live off the land like your ancestors did. So you don't even know to burn your trash. You don't even know to plant some of the seeds that you get from the grocery store or whatever in the ground, so that way you can have a garden. You don't even think of those things. Because you're the one just working as a slave, just that you really have made a decision that I'd rather get up and go to the grocery store. I want to go to the grocery store because in that way I don't have to food shit. So I want to be somebody's slave so I can get some shit that already grow for free right here in my backyard if I just plant it right.
But I'm just you say it like that, yeah. But it's a comfortable matrix to grow up in, and I grew up going to the store and seeing the candy machine, and you know what I'm saying, buy me a little 25-cent toy and turn it like that's an adventure going to the store.
Ask you a question. Where's that toy now?
In the vent somewhere, probably.
You ain't seen that toy since 5 days.
I'm just saying, man. It's a comfortable matrix. People people don't really know my story. I done been through some, I can understand how somebody be in this world stuck because they ain't got rocked. I got rocked up out the world and had to damn, this the real? This for real? Know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't had that. So now it's coming by force all at one time. That's why you seeing all these at our meetings now. It's 55 and older.
But see, here's the trick though. The thing is we all was tricked. So you got to get over that. Do you see? At the end of the day, if we looked at things a certain way and we all stood up and said, hey, you know what? We know what you did to you. We know what you did to us. I guess we all decide, because we are part and parcel of this said government, which is by the treaty over yours. Because that treaty is our title to the land.
Right.
So what we're saying is, if we all came up together, aligned in the same bloodline, fuck the schisms, because it ain't about what, I like my cheese toasted on my bread first, no, I want butter put on. What are we talking about?
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? And that part does not matter. Nobody cares about how you toast your goddamn bread. What we said was, are you part of this bloodline pedigree?
Exactly.
Right? Is your mother a Moorish Stargate? We know when you passed through here, you know who you came through. You are what your mother was. That's all we said. And nothing else. It's real simple. And then now that gives us the right position in our heirship heredity to the treaty to enforce it, to make you honor it and do what you got to do. That's going in honor. Not being worried about schisms. Because all the stuff that we talk about the little subject stuff, and that don't make you, that don't make any one of these people. We just talk about what Stargate you came from. If you love your mother, you love your mother.
I don't even understand why that, that's such a hot topic like that, because we are the ones, if you read the caveat emptor, do I got it up here? The prophet talk about the Moors that he know that's interested in the movement. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The caveat emptor.
And he say they the where is that? I thought I had it up here. But he talks about
the next one if we can get into that in the next one. So we bring that up.
Yeah. He talks about how he knows the Moors that's interested in the movement, they the vanguard. And I looked up vanguard. I got that up here somewhere. And vanguard mean those in the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Basically people on the front line. People like Sharon. You know what I'm saying? That's doing like major damage. Real work. They go to Vanguard now. A group of people leading the way in new developments or ideas. And number 2, the foremost part of an advancing army or naval force. So that can apply as well too, because the half has not been told. So the prophet said the 2,000 more is going to come into their own. So you see us not operating inside of the temple. We see the temple ain't acting right. We on our own.
Gotta do.
Know what I'm saying?
Right.
We doing we fulfilling the prophecy. We the vanguard. We coming into new ideas, new ways to do stuff. Social media we reach. I was reached by social media. Know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about a video that Taj made probably 8 years ago. So think, 8 years ago, he talking to a camera and it's talking to me in 2018. Time travel. Know what I'm saying?
And you get it now. You understand it. So it's
Like,
it's
man.
circulating, but nobody knows it until you kind of till it clicks.
So we the vanguard. We the ones. It's always the new one that come, cause it's like somebody done took it. It's like a relationship. The one girl that she done took it for granted, the other girl come sweep you off your feet.
Right all up.
Know what I'm saying?
No, baby, I know just what you need.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they want to get no.
Yeah. I love you. Broke down. Okay.
But yeah, that's all I want. That's all I already got right now to get into, except for to break it down real simple. The reason why we talk this Constitution talk, because it's a difference. Always look at it as it's a either or. It's no middle ground. It's always a 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Like we got our treaty. It's us on one side, them on the other side. You had a lot of people telling me I ain't, he ain't do this, he ain't do that, and I stood the best way I knew. The brother was coming with me, him, the other brother. We got it handled. But we talk about this Constitution because it's about equality. So same way we saying every nation gotta, know what I'm saying, say their religion, free national descent name. It's about equality. It's about rights. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even, that's why we say we handle the affairs of men. You can't even wield the Constitution if you're not a man, because only men get rights. This why we talking about Constitution. It ain't like we nerds with a book. Nah, we dealing with rights over here.
Yep.
We ain't dealing with benefits. You know what I'm saying? We fighting for rights. So,
Because the benefits, that's mommy, can I get a glass of milk out the refrigerator? You asking for permission.
the reason you don't even know you being violated, like once you learn the Constitution, I'm not saying like we Moors, we got constitutional right, like I'm saying the Constitution prohibits how you can't violate somebody. So that's how we using it. Once you know how you being that Constitution, you know how you being that international law is being violated every day. But if you think you the straw man, cause the straw man black, you know what I'm saying? Oh well, it might be labeled black. It might supposed to be something else, but the straw man is what it's labeled. So if you think you the straw man, then as a man thinketh.
Yeah.
Then they looking at you like, hey, we got a treaty, but you coming at me talking about your name, Tom Frank. So you in violation of the treaty.
Yeah, you are. Yes,
So trading with the enemy act. You know what I'm saying?
You have no idea.
Now you in violation of the agreement. You know? So that's why in the divine warning, what he's saying, the sin of my people. He ain't even mentioning them.
No.
Not to say that what they doing ain't wrong, but we subject to it if we put ourselves up under. That's what the warning for.
Yep.
If you go up under that, that's what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Man, you know, I'm going up over there. Flop, 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 flop. You come back running back with your eye, and now you want some sympathy.
Right.
Then you just was warned. Like what?
That's right. Everybody told you. Everybody told you. You had already had the warning.
So that's the one. That's what's, and we ain't trying to put y'all down. It just be driving Moors crazy. Cause we was gonna do a sketch comedy about it, like with Moors just sitting in the room with a bunch of, know what I'm saying, undesirables with a book full of answers, and all the undesirables just in there complaining about all their problems, and we got all the answers right. Like all you gotta do is, know what I'm saying, stop saying you that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Listening. They're not listening. Like you can't even, like it's like we talking with voices like this big. Like you know how you talking and it's mute.
It's one of them
Everybody
things.
going and you just back here screaming and whatnot. Nobody even pays
They ain't gonna hear it. You remember them old shows in the 80s when they used to slap somebody and be like, thanks, I needed that.
Yeah.
That's what need to happen. They gotta get slapped up out of the train. I'm telling you, something gotta happen to where you adjusted. Somebody adjusted and you ain't like how it happened. Like, man,
But the problem is people so programmed that as soon as that happens, they gonna go into woe is me status.
Yeah, they gonna share this, make this go viral.
Yeah.
That's what they gonna do.
I mean, it's like, come on now. What you need to make go viral is your nationality.
Yeah, unity. Unity. I'm talking about
all on one accord, based on one line of pedigree.
See he more stringent than me. I'm trying to meet every way. I'm trying to reach so much. I'm saying, look, we Moors. I don't know how y'all identify. I'm saying we can make a whole confederation. You know what I'm saying? And come to terms of what we need to be lawfully. You know what I'm saying? You can believe what you want to believe, but we need the unity though. We need
the thing is, what I'm saying is that what you just said is already in place. It was the same thing that your ancestors had, which is the same thing that you just saying I am. So if I was from the Chickasaw, I'm a Chickasaw tribe, right? Does that mean I can't be a Moor?
Right.
It wouldn't matter that I'm from the Chickasaw tribe. They all use the Moor as an umbrella to cover everybody and keeping everybody tied to the land.
Right.
Okay? So that's the part that we all got to kind of understand is we don't need to make up nothing else. But you know why? But no, that take time.
Right.
Think about it. Because we all got to talk, agree, make changes. We don't agree with each other now. We never have.
Right.
Right? So why not just say, we all agree we Moors to get this motherfucker out of our goddamn house, and then you go back to your motherfucking room.
That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
And we saying more, not just because we more, but we saying more because we in all they damn documents.
And books.
We everywhere.
On walls.
How they gonna deny us?
You can't, it's right there.